Welcome to Mexico City. I am Rodrigo Medellín, and I'm welcoming you from my house in Mexico City, where we have these amazing avocados that are becoming ripe very soon, and we're going to make some amazing guacamole. I'm inviting you here to the 2020 and first ever Bat Advent calendar that has been put together by Víquez-R. The idea of this Bat Advent is that each day one of us is going to discuss a paper with you, is going to present a paper for you on a particular aspect of bats that we find fascinating. In this case, I am going to talk about this paper that was published earlier this year. This paper was published by Xavi Puig, Montserrat, and the rest of the team at the Granollers Natural Sciences Museum in Catalonia, in the east of the Iberian Peninsula. This group has been incredibly active, looking at the effect of bats on the rice paddies. So this paper is going to look at how bats actively prey on mosquitoes and prey also on agricultural pest of rice, and what is the potential impact for human health and for agriculture. They worked in a natural park in the extreme east of the Iberian Peninsula, and that natural park is covered with wetlands and dunes and lots of rice paddies. They produce a lot of rice. So if you have eaten a paella, for example, somewhere in the Iberian Peninsula, chances are you are connected to these bats. You are connected to this incredible ecosystem. What they did is to have as a response variable the number of bat passes, bat activity. And how did they document the bat activity? They used bat detectors, ultrasonic bat detectors with triggers at certain frequencies and certain volumes, so that they would be useful to be analyzed later. They deployed 4 passive ultrasound detectors in different areas of the rice paddies. Most of the bats that they attribute the activity and the study to are in the genus Pipistrellus, because Pipistrellus is a very common group of bats there, and specifically Pipistrellus pygmaeus has been very deeply studied by this group and many others, and they know that it is Pipistrellus and not Miniopterus schreibersii, which is also similar in their echolocation call, because Miniopterus schreibersii is very rare in that area, and also Miniopterus avoids open areas and wetlands and water bodies. So that's how we can be sure that most of the bats that are being detected are actually Pipistrellus, and most of those are actually Pipistrellus pygmaeus. Okay, so the number of bat passes is what they're using as a variable response, and they're going to build a model that we're going to get to on what is driving the activity of the bats. They also deployed mosquito traps that are lured with human scent, the scent of our bodies, that are very attractive to mosquitoes. As you all know, you've been in the tropics, you've been in areas with lots of mosquitoes, and mosquitoes come to you because of our scent. So that is going to be one of the variables, is going to be the number of mosquitoes. That is an indicator of the activity of mosquitoes and the abundance of mosquitoes. And they're also going to measure temperature and humidity and other variables. For the diet of the bats, they collected 15 fecal pellets, only 15 fecal pellets, but that's enough. 15 fecal pellets per week in a total of 6 weeks from mid-August to the end of September. So they have a total of 6 samples of 15 fecal pellets each sample that they are going to extract the DNA from, and then using DNA barcoding, they are going to tell us what is the diet of these bats. It's really fascinating. All right. So the results. Let's go to the results. They recorded a total of 760,000 bat passes. So the sample is really significant. 760,000 bat passes, the vast majority of which were collected in 2017 over several months, and then about 114,000 were collected in 2018 in only 2 months that they worked there. And guess what? The model that is very robust explains the bat activity with a model that has 3 variables. The first variable is temperature. The second variable is mosquito abundance. So there you have it. The more mosquitoes, the more bats that you have around. And the third variable was relative humidity. So there you have it. More mosquitoes, more bats that are going to be eating those mosquitoes. And then in terms of mosquitoes, they ended up collecting almost 9,000 mosquitoes, about 4,500 each year. More than 99% of the mosquitoes were in the genus Culex. And the genus Culex is a really serious threat to humans because they are the vectors for viruses like dengue, like yellow fever, like West Nile, like Zika, chikungunya, and many others. So having bats around eating mosquitoes is in our best interest. Okay, we continue with the paper, and of course when they look at the diet analysis, they look at the insects in the diet, they found that nematocerans, these dipterans that have elongated bodies, were present in all of their samples. But in addition, the genus Drosophila, one species of Drosophila, Drosophila suzuki, was present in 100% of the samples. Drosophila suzuki is an exotic invasive agricultural pest. It's a very serious pest because unlike other Drosophilas, this Drosophila feeds on the fresh fruit, on the fruit that is ripe, even in the tree. So just in the United States, it has cost $700 million a year of losses. And Drosophila suzuki is in the diet of these bats. 100% of the samples had the DNA of the Drosophila suzuki. And also chironomids, the non-biting midges that are also an agricultural pest for rice because the larvae feed on the roots of rice and sometimes dislodge the rice plants, was present in 83% of the samples, and mosquitoes were also present in 83% of the samples. So there you have it. Bats are feeding on mosquitoes very frequently, very frequently. Okay. This Drosophila, like I said, is an exotic invasive from Southeast Asia, but it's now in Europe, in the United States, and many other places. And bats are feeding on it. I want to finish by telling you that the health implications of this paper are really important. Basically, the message is that a good practice for all rice producers would be to install bat houses around the rice paddies, in the rice paddies. That is going to attract bats, that is going to protect the rice crops, and it's going to protect them as well. As you know, rice paddies are a very common habitat for mosquitoes. There's a lot of mosquitoes in rice paddies. So what better than to encourage bat densities, bat populations in these rice paddies, because that way those bats are going to be feeding on the mosquitoes and on the prey. What else do we need? Please consider donating, like I said, for the NASBER Teachers Workshop, and I hope you have enjoyed this paper. Thank you.